Well, hello there. Thank you for joining me. Today I have some vintage postcards that I wanted to share with you. I have this stack, as you can see, of different postcards. I got them at an estate sale a really long time ago, and I think that the seller sold them to me for $1. And it's mostly places around the United States, but there are also some international locations, I think European locations and such. Mostly color, but there are some black and white ones as well. I thought to start we could count how many postcards we have. And if you're not into counting and you would rather skip ahead to looking at all of the postcards and hearing about their locations, then I will put the timestamp below so you can skip ahead. And most all of these are blank. There are only a couple that have any writing on them. So I don't know if that's good or bad, but I know I find it very interesting to read old postcards. But I think that these postcards will be interesting enough on their own. So let's go ahead and get started with our counting. Okay, we're going to see how many postcards that we have. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. So we have 43 postcards that we are going to look through today. So I thought that we could start with the postcards that had writing on the back. And this is a photograph of Fort Sumter National Monument in Charleston, South Carolina. And this is obviously the third postcard. 3. Because it says read this 30. But, or read third. It doesn't say read this, it says read third. And this is labeled number 3. But I don't have the first 2. So, it's a continuation from postcard number 2. Because it's the end of a sentence. It just says motel. With a little exclamation point. And then in all capitals, color TV. With another exclamation point. I am watching it now. With another exclamation point. This motel has a real neat pool. And it is open from early in the morning. So fun. So the Fort Sumter National Monument in Charleston, South Carolina. And we have our postmark right here, our stamp, and it says 1970 right there. 1970 Charleston AM. So we're going to read a little bit about the Fort Sumter National Monument. It was constructed 1829 to 1860 and named for General Thomas Sumter of Revolutionary fame. It was fired on from Fort Johnson by a Confederate battery to initiate the American Civil War. Confederates soon occupied the fort and held it throughout most of the war, withstanding one of the longest sieges in modern history. Fort Sumter is visited daily by 4 boats from the municipal yacht basin. And it is so funny because I love Charleston, and I've been there several times, but I've never taken the Fort Sumter tour. It's so funny because it's like one of the number one things to do in Charleston is visit Fort Sumter, but I have not gone. But you can see it has the ruins and of course the cannons down there. People walking around. So the next one that has writing on it is this one right here. This is the Skyline in Niagara Falls, Canada. You can see the falls right there. And turn it over. And it says, Daddy, I am in Niagara Falls, Canada. Really? How is Buffy? How are you? I dined in the revolving restaurant today. Having fun. Love, Diane. And it's August 16th, 1970. Our postmark here and some cool stamps. There. So this says Skyline Niagara International Center, Niagara Falls, Canada. Rising 775 feet above Niagara River between Niagara's 2 great cataracts, Skyline offers breathtaking view of entire Niagara frontier. Panorama includes 2 Great Lakes, Welland Canal, skylines of Toronto and Buffalo. Skyline features observation deck, dining lounge, and revolving restaurant operated by Canadian Pacific Hotels. Niagara International Center features international displays of culture, products, and services. Very cool. So this next one is kind of like on a linen type paper. See if you can see it. I don't know if you can tell, but it kind of looks like a linen paper. And it is an illustration of the East Cemetery Hill and statue of General Hancock in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. It's very pretty. And on the back, we have some information. So I'm going to read the little blurb right here. It says East Cemetery Hill. The importance of this position was seen early in the Battle of First Day, and it was fortified as a rallying point of the original fortifications. The lunettes around the guns remain intact. Here occurred that memorable conflict known in history of the Gettysburg Battle as the Louisiana Tigers Charge. The equestrian statue represents General Hancock in the attitude of rallying the defeated troops of the 1st and 11th Corps on the evening of July 1st. This next one is a photograph of what looks to be a shipwreck. And this says Altoona, wrecked in 1921. The Altoona was buried in the sand until 1963, when she was uncovered and broken up by the surf. Her remains may still be viewed at the extreme tip of Cape Hatteras, not too distant from the famous lighthouse. Cape Hatteras. National Seashore. This is a National Park Service photo on the front. So here we have the Altoona right there, crashing into the waves, or the waves are crashing into it, rather. This is Elizabeth City News Co., Elizabeth City, North Carolina. And we have another ship, it seems. See the ocean. And this is another Cape Hatteras National Seashore postcard. One of the victims of hurricane winds along the Outer Banks, this LST was driven ashore in 1948 while being towed south for salvage. They're Elizabeth City, North Carolina. And I think this is another, yep, Cape Hatteras National Seashore. This ship right here, you can see it in the ocean. And it says Oriental. This modern fishing trawler, once the pleasure yacht of Herman Goring, was caught in a nor'easter in December 1969 and ran aground on Bodie Island. The U.S. Coast Guard rescued her crew of 3 before she broke up on the beach. Elizabeth City, North Carolina. So, the next couple postcards are from Tweetsie Railroad. And Tweetsie Railroad is an Old West theme park in the North Carolina mountains. It's been around for a very long time. And you can ride this train around the park. And this says Tweetsie crossing the 1880 model wooden trestle en route to dangerous Indian territory and surprises aplenty. Tweetsie Railroad, Blowing Rock, North Carolina. This says 1969 Aerial Photography Services, Inc., Charlotte, North Carolina. And then the next one from Tweetsie is just another picture of the train. And it says Tweetsie's locomotive number 12 crossing Dead Horse Trestle. Tweetsie Railroad, Eastern America's most exciting travel attraction. Full-size steam locomotives daily carry fun-loving tourists through 3 miles of scenic mountains, where trains are attacked by renegade Indians and robbed by outlaws. Authentic Western town features live entertainment at Tweetsie Palace, just off the Blue Ridge Parkway at Blowing Rock, North Carolina. And this one is Color King. This is Color King Natural Color Card, W.M. Klein Co., Asheville, North Carolina. Tweetsie. So, let's see, what do we have? This beautiful landscape, the building, this little area down here. Newcastle from Sleeve Donard Hotel Co. down, where the mountains of Mourne sweep down to the sea. Oh, that's pretty. I see that now. My thumb was on it. The mountains of Mourne sweep down to the sea. And this one says Valentine's Postcard. for correspondence on the side. We shall continue steadfast in faith and duty till our task is done. The Prime Minister. And she wrote, Northern Ireland was here August 23rd, 1944. This is a carbo color postcard. Published by Valentine and Sons. It's printed in Scotland. The next one we have is very colorful. We have the Niagara Falls all lit up in rainbow colors. You can see the cars parked down here. And it says Niagara Falls Illuminated, Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. General view of both American and Canadian Horseshoe Falls with 4,200,000,000 candle power, showing Oaks Garden and Niagara Parkway illuminated with beautiful and unusual lighting effects among the trees and gardens. It's a color photo by Jack Bain, distributed by Royal Specialty Sales, 430 King Street, West Toronto, Ontario. Made in Canada. We have our little leaf here. Bunch of postage. Very pretty. So this next postcard is from France. And I know we in America don't pronounce it correctly usually. We tend to just call it the Louvre, but I know that's not exactly how you're supposed to say it. But Paris, oh goodness, no. I'm not gonna read that. But it just describes the artwork that is on the front. Yeah, do not read French, do not speak French. And I would butcher it, I'm pretty sure. But we can admire the beautiful artwork because a picture is worth 1,000 words. Our next postcard that we have has this nice couple here, and they're leaning over a stone wall. Looks like they're feeding the bird. It's very pretty with the fall foliage. And let's see, what are we looking at? This is the Natural Bridge, one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. There is no other structure like it. The Lee Highway, US number 11, passes over Natural Bridge. It is higher by 55 feet than Niagara Falls. The height of the bridge from the stream below to its upper surface is 215 feet. It has a span of 90 feet between the walls, width averages 100 feet, and the arch is 40 feet thick. New hotel and motor lodge accommodations open all year. Drama of creation every night. And let's see, published by Natural Bridge of Virginia, Inc. So, our next postcard looks like it might be another shipwreck. And yes, another Cape Hatteras National Seashore. You can see the wreckage there in the ocean. And it says, Carol a daring, once a tall and stately 5-masted schooner, her destiny was sealed by the treacherous outer seas. Discovered aground on Diamond Shoals in 1921 with sails set, and only the galley cat aboard, she remains the most mysterious wreck on the Outer Banks. From Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Next, we have another one from Niagara Falls. It's very pretty, very beautiful. Just so cool. Zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. All around. There's all the people visiting. And this is Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. The American Falls as seen from the Gorge Tower on the American side. Canadian Horseshoe Falls in the background. Distributed by Royal Specialty Sales, Toronto, Ontario. You can see our leaf again for our postage. I promise there's more than shipwrecks in Niagara Falls. I think this is another shipwreck. The Outer Banks of North Carolina. So we have wreckage. And it says Laura Barnes shipwreck is one of the many shipwrecks found along the coast of the Outer Banks of North Carolina, which is known as the Graveyard of the Atlantic. Graveyard of the Atlantic. Elizabeth City, North Carolina. And the next one. Okay, so it's the Tryon Palace Restoration in New Bern, North Carolina. It has this beautiful gate in front of it, wrought iron gate. The buildings back here. And it says Tryon Palace Restoration, Newport, North Carolina. First permanent capital of North Carolina, built by Royal Governor William Tryon, 1767 to 70. Restored 1952 to 1959 through gifts of Mrs. James Edwin Latham by the Tryon Palace Commission, a state agency. Palace entrance. The 1741 wrought iron gates and railings are English. And this is a Curtic color. I'm not sure. 3D natural color reproduction. So, very pretty. So here we are looking at the beautiful caverns of Luray, Virginia. So here we are looking at the beautiful caverns and these two lovely ladies in their dresses and cardigans. And we have all these beautiful formations. Just beautiful formations. And it looks like we were gonna say something. We were gonna write a postcard, but then we didn't. But this says Princess Column, a natural color photograph from the beautiful caverns of Luray, Virginia. More than 300,000 people visit this world-famous attraction each year. It is the largest cave in Virginia, the most beautiful cave in the world. Located on Lee Highway, US 211, only 90 miles from Washington, D.C., and within sight of the scenic Skyline Drive and Shenandoah National Park. This says Natural Color by Mike Roberts, Berkeley, California. Shenandoah News Agency, Winchester, Virginia. So our next one is a fun one. It is the Holiday Inn. The Holiday Inn. Let's see. It says right here. Show it to you. It says open swimming pool and charcoal hearth. Charcoal hearth. And you can see all the cool, like, old cars in the parking lot. Parked in the parking lot, and then they have the people enjoying the pool right here. The cars are down here. There. So, this is the Holiday Inn in Winchester, Virginia. US Highway 11, 1.5 miles south of downtown Winchester. It's air-conditioned restaurant and has a swimming pool with free TV and free holodecks reservations. Your host from coast to coast. And another Curta color, 3D natural color reproduction. You can kind of gauge the year based on the cars. And then, let's see, is this another? I don't know, what is this? Yeah, the Motor House in Williamsburg, Virginia. So this is the Motor House in Williamsburg, Virginia. Little brick structures here, and the people out here. This lady is in a beautiful pink dress and she's waving. She's waving. And it says the Motor House of Williamsburg, Virginia. One of the nation's finest motor hotels with 220 spacious air-conditioned rooms. The Motor House and its restaurant, the cafeteria, are the largest accommodations in Williamsburg. They are adjacent to the Colonial Williamsburg Information Center, the starting point of all tours of the historic city. This is an official Colonial Williamsburg card. It says Ectochrome by Thos L. Williams, Muralchrome by H.S. Crocker Co. Inc. Our little place for our postage. So the next one is a beautiful horse photograph. This horse right here. And it's the Wild Outer Banks pony of Ocracoke Island, North Carolina. Wild ponies formerly roamed the full length of North Carolina's Outer Banks, but are now confined to a relatively small area of Ocracoke Island as one of the attractions of the Cape Hatteras National Seashore. Elizabeth City, North Carolina. And the wild ponies, the little friends over here. And then we have another Outer Banks one, the lighthouse. This is the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse. Right here, it's very famous. Black and white bands. And it says the famous Cape Hatteras Lighthouse, built in 1870 to warn seafarers off the dangerous storm-lashed shallows of It is the tallest brick lighthouse in America, approximately 208 feet high. It is now a shrine and a museum in Cape Hatteras National Seashore Park. Color photo by P. Bain. Elizabeth City News Company, Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Stamp here. Then our next postcard is a photograph. It's interesting. We'll be looking at the Wright Brothers National Memorial. The Wright Brothers National Memorial. There. And it says, it's in Kill Devil Hill, North Carolina. This monument commemorates the achievement of the first airplane flight in history by Wilbur and Orville Wright on December 17th, 1903. Elizabeth City, North Carolina again. And wow, we have another shipwreck one. Let's see, you can see right there, ocean. This is the George A. Kohler. One of the last large sailing vessels was blown ashore during a hurricane in 1933. Deposited high on the beach for almost 10 years, she remained one of the major attractions on the Outer Banks. Cape Hatteras National Seashore. And there you go. Right there. And another one. This might be the last one, but I can't make any promises as far as the shipwrecks go. But here we have some more remains. There on the beach. And it says the Laura A. Barnes. You know what? We already looked at this, didn't we? That sounds very familiar. Was one of the many sailing vessels in use along the Outer Banks early in the century. It fell victim to the treacherous shoals and ran aground in a fog on Bodie Island in 1921. The wreckage, one of the best preserved, can be seen above the high tide mark a mile north of Coquina Beach. Maybe this one's just a little different. Maybe it's just another perspective of that. Okay, yeah. They're two different pictures of the same. And it has a little bit of a different description too on that one. The Laura Barnes, or the Laura A. Barnes. There. Two different pictures. Next we have another hotel. It's a little hotel picture. And these people are all enjoying a swimming pool. I wonder if these people knew someone was taking a picture of all of them at the pool, and B, if they knew that picture would end up on a postcard. I'm like, did you ask this man? Did you ask this lady here? Did you say, hey, I'm gonna take a picture and put it on a postcard? This is the Cairncroft Motor Hotel at 2400 Lundy's Lane, Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. And it says featuring free TV, telephone, background music, room service, 24-hour switchboard service, message service, free ice, valet and laundry service, tour and transportation office, free reservation service, controlled temperature, swimming pools, fine food, fully licensed chandelier dining lounge, and a Shakespeare lounge. Wow, it's very fancy. It says they take Carte Blanche, Diners Club, American Express. We have the AAA logo here. And this says the best Western motels. Member, I guess is what that says. Printed in Canada. Copyright Sterling Emer, Niagara Falls, Ontario. Place stamp here. So the next postcard is a photograph of a plane. Can you guess where this one is? Of course, it is the Outer Banks at Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina. This is a reproduction of the Wright brothers plane that was airborne on December 17th, 1903. Here we have the plane. Reproduction. Can you fathom how far we have come from this to the planes we take every day today in just such a short time period as well. 1903. And the next one is another Outer Banks postcard. We have these pirates right here, these dueling pirates in front of a shipwreck. This says the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Pirates draw swords at the site of the wreck of the Laura Barnes, where Blackbeard and his pirates preyed on ships during the early 18th century. It was near here, at Ocracoke Inlet, where Blackbeard was captured and killed in 1718. Elizabeth City. So this next one is very beautiful. We have all these winding gardens. Very, very pretty. Let's see, where are we? We are at the Maud Moore Latham Memorial Garden of Tryon Place in New Bern, North Carolina. Restoration of Tryon Palace completed in 1959 at a cost of $3 million. The formal gardens shown here are one of the beauty spots of the state. Published by L&M News Co., New Bern, North Carolina. Luster Chrome. Made only by Ticknor Brothers, Inc., Boston, Massachusetts. These are pretty garden. So our next postcard is another photograph. It says Lewisburg Square here. The car is down here. We have this car parked in front of a no parking sign. There's a little statue, a lamppost, and it says famous Lewisburg Square on historic Beacon Hill, Boston, Massachusetts. The unique charm of Lewisburg Square and the beautiful bullfinch doorways opening thereon have made this spot a mecca for visitors to Boston. It's a color photo by Fred Jellison Jr., published by Bromley and Company, Inc., Boston, Massachusetts. Postage stamp there. And here we have another Boston photograph. Down here it says the New Boston. And we have all these buildings, this aerial photo. You can see a lot of the city here. And it says Christian Science Church Center, Prudential Center, and New John Hancock Tower, Boston, Massachusetts. Published by Bromley and Company, Inc. A little postage stamp there. And here we have another photograph. It's a hotel, but it's the Sheraton. It's the Sheraton Hotel in Boston. Very nice buildings. And it says Sheraton Boston Hotel, Sheraton Hotels and Inns Worldwide, Prudential Center, Boston, Massachusetts. 1,300 rooms in 2 dramatic towers above the Massachusetts Turnpike extension at Prudential Center, connected to Heinz Auditorium, adjacent to Boston shopping and entertainment areas. The Sheraton Towers, 147 lavishly furnished, superbly serviced rooms and suites atop the Sheraton Boston Hotel. Private lounge, many thoughtful extras, all hotel facilities available. Dial 800-325-3535 free for worldwide Sheraton reservations. This is a Curtic color, 3D natural color reproduction. Now, I think the rest of our postcards are going to be black and white. They're a lot older than the ones we've been looking through. This first one is a photograph of Ormeau Park. I'm so sorry. I already know I'm going to butcher these. So I'm really sorry. But in Belfast, here, Belfast, and it's blank postcard. This space is for communication only, for address only, place for postage stamp. Very interesting. And then the next one we have is this black and white photograph. And it's Linlithgow. I hope I'm saying that. Linlithgow, I don't know, Academy. There's the people in front. It is blank on the back. Correspondence, address. Place for your postage stamp. And then here we have the Linlithgow Palace from the southeast. You can see right over there across the water. And again, this one's blank on the back. Place for your postage stamp. See it a little better. There you go. Our next one is the Old Town Hall and Hopetoun statue in Linlithgow. So it's very beautiful architecture right there. The building, the stairs. You can see the old car. These people walking down the path. And again, it's blank. Put your postage right there. And we have another Belfast postcard right here. It says Botanic Park in Belfast. And the structure right here in the middle. This gorgeous park. Very pretty. Paths going everywhere. And she did right here. I visited this park 6th of August, 1944. So that's cool to have a date. Postage stamp. And our next photograph is the York Minster Choir looking east. Gorgeous. The arches here. More arches. And here it's blank. Copyright publication by Photochrome Co. Limited, Royal Tunbridge Wells, all British production. correspondence. And it says, "This is a time for everyone to stand together and hold firm." The Prime Minister. We have a little box here for our postage stamp. And let's see what our next photograph is. Ew, how pretty. The Micklegate Bar in York. My goodness. Look at that. Micklegate Bar. And it's blank, but it does have some information. It says, "Micklegate Bar, York, in all probability has the original Norman arch with 14th century work surmounting it. On this bar the heads of traders were exhibited. In 1460, after the Battle of Wakefield, the head of Richard, Duke of York, was placed here. As Shakespeare says, York did overlook the town of York." Wow, that's morbid. Copyright and published by Walter Scott Bradford for Edwin Story Limited, York. So here we have Victoria Hall in Linlithgow in this beautiful structure. Beautiful structure here. The little car. This is a person on a bike. This road here. And it's blank on the back. A place for our postage stamp. And then here, this is the Town Hall in Downpatrick. We have a couple little boys here. Someone with a bicycle. And she wrote, "Northern Ireland was here August 22nd, 1944. So another one from 1944. And this is the RA series postcard series. The Seal of Artistic Excellence, published by J. Morton of Downpatrick. Printed in England. And then here we have the Linlithgow Palace and Lock. There's the lock. And it's blank. And just has space for your postage stamp here. And let's see. Oh, entrance to the chapter house, York Minster. We have these gorgeous arches right here. So pretty. And this is a Tux postcard. The great decorated doorway of the chapter house, 1300, with figures of the Madonna and Child, the heads of which were broken off by the Roundheads and restored in the 19th century. Raphael Tuck and Sons real photograph postcard. Publishers to their Majesties the King and Queen, and to His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales. Printed in England. Official photograph copyright. Actually, Raphael Tuck and Sons is the same company that published The Night Before Christmas that I read in a video in December. So the little postage stamp place by appointment. Very fancy. Okay, we're at our last postcard. We have a very, very busy area cars. And there's a bus. Another bus. We have all kinds of things happening down here. And then you have this beautiful, beautiful building. The statues on the top. And here, this is Paris. And she visited on July 21st, 1945. 1945. It says YVON, Yvonne, Paris 15, Rue Martel. Okay, my friend, that completes our postcard collection. I hope that you enjoyed looking through all these fun vintage postcards with me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or your night and a very good sleep. And until I see you next time, take very